Hey, what's going on, guys? You guys already know me, right? So there's no need for a brief introduction. This is but I will though. I definitely will. This is Castro again, YS Stocks and Options. We're gonna come here. I'm here by myself, y'all, solo, me, right? And as you guys know, we like to do the market forecast for what we're seeing in the market, but more importantly, focusing on the macro, right? Last week we had a crazy, crazy week, right? The entire market actually rallied for over 3 days straight. We saw S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial, and also the Russell 2000 to include the diamonds rally on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it was like rallying almost 5 days in a row, right? We're going to show you guys what we've seen for the market to come. But more importantly, what some possible trades that we can get into for next week. So as you guys can see, the first thing that we like to focus on and touch on is what we saw before, right? The week prior. So right now we're going to look at the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000, the forecast for this one in particular was that it was going to hit $181.64. And believe it or not, guys, as you guys can see right here, right? It hit 100 and it went over that. It's at 187.64 right now, right? So that was a successful forecast, right? And of course, this one here is all the way to June 13th. I'm going to keep this one here for the long term. I think it's going to, I'm definitely looking forward for this ETF here to actually retesting this low here in June timeframe as we look into the Federal Reserve speaking and also talking about the rate hikes. But we still find ourselves in a bearish market, right? Always remember that, still in the bearish market. So this, I'm going to keep that there just so we can see that nothing has changed thus far. So for the forecast, I'm looking into the next few weeks, a few things. I'm anticipating that we should test this resistance area here of 193, right? 193.87, right? So let's go here. Let's go to my tools. My tools are right there. I'm losing it. So for next week, I'm gonna come over here, 193. I'm gonna be conservative for this one in particular. And the reason for that, right? Again, the macro reason for that is this, right? Again, we still find ourselves in the bear market. And what do I mean by that? Is that this is still happening, right? This trend here is still alive, folks, right? This is the trend, the current trend that we find ourselves in right now. This is the trend we find ourselves in right now, right? They say the trend is your friend until it ends. Yeah, so we still find ourselves in bearish market territory, right? This is going lower and lower and lower. So hence, that's why it leads me to believe that we're going to test this high right here of $194 roughly next week. And then we'll see what it does thereafter, right? So that's sort of the Russell 2000. For the diamonds, see what we're seeing for the diamonds right here. As you can see, this one was a success as well, right? We say the diamonds was going to go to $321.46. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, it exceeded that. Like it went right through that. So that was a success here. So we're going to remove this one here. And then we're going to look into like the following week, right? Again, the first thing that we like to look at, as you guys know, is the candle, right? What does the candle tell us? Candle tells us a story about who's motivated, right? With the volume here. Even though we had lower volume, right? Even though we had lower volume here, right? Huge Marabuzo here for next week, closing out Friday. So that leads me to believe that we should see more upside in the following week, right? So for this one, I'm going all the way here to the $340.38, right? And that's for the Dow Jones Industrial. I'm taking into consideration a few things. One, right, we talk about the candle and the volume, right? Also looking at, look at this, CCI, right, trending upward. Stochastics trending upward as well, right? So next week, look at that, and the MACD, right? TTM squeeze here trending upwards as well. Leads me to believe that this has a little bit more upside to go. The next one we're going to look at is the QQQs, the triple Qs, right? What do we see in the triple Qs? Boom, hit our target here, $293. It surpassed that. So that was a success here, right? Again, the last one, I said that in June timeframe, we should see a bounce thereafter, if it actually didn't break this resistance area, which it did right here, right? So broke that resistance area. Now that is support, and I am anticipating and forecasting for this one in particular, again, following the same rules, right? Same rules here. Same rules here, right? You know what? Yes, same rules apply here, right? Still bearish territory. I was actually going to draw a trend line, but it's not working for me. So I'm going all the way looking to the left in order to determine where this is possibly going to go. Forecasting that this is a great, right? This is a great resistance area in which we should see the Qs, triple Qs, boom, right there, test before even attempting to go any lower, right? Huge volume on Friday, right? 1, 2, 3, 3 days of actually jumping higher and higher. And of course, this is another resistance areas, as we said, right? Resistance area here. So I'm anticipating the Qs to touch $318, right? 67 cents. That's what I have for the upside, 1867. And, we'll see what it does thereafter. I'm still going to keep this one here, right? Again, this is a long term, but I'm going to push it a little bit to the right for 6/28 of June for this. So let's go into the S&P 500 SPY. A lot of things happening here at SPY. Did this earlier with the guys. First and foremost, I actually did this one already, right? The first thing that I was watching here, and I mentioned to the guys, is that we still continue to see a downward trend, right? Ever since January, right? The Qs have been trending lower and lower and lower, right? Right. So we find ourselves that the S&P 500, not the Q, the S&P 500 right now is currently sitting in this downward trend, right? And we always say the trend is your friend until it ends, right? So if we see ourselves going lower and lower and lower, right? That's what we're seeing right here. It is a no-brainer, right? Given motivation and also the high, first of all, the Marabuzzo that was found, that actually was showed itself here on Friday, right? Boom, 1, 2, 3, 5 days of green candle. Then we had the Marabuzzo here actually formed on Friday. It leads me to believe that we're going to be testing this new resistance area right here of $426.36, but possibly even going higher, right? I'm gonna be a little bit conservative, right? I would say even close to $430, but I'm gonna go here to 426.57 just to be conservative, as I had it before. And even though we still find ourselves on a downtrend, right? Giving all the parameters, meaning the CCI trending upward, even though it's oversold territory, overbought territory, right? The stochastics itself, right? Trending upward. As you guys can see here, we see this here, TTM squeeze. the MACD is trending upward as well. Leads me to believe we should see huge potential upside for this one next week. I have it for 426.57, and then we'll see what it does thereafter, right? So that's all for the day for the market forecast technical analysis piece of this iteration. Let us know if this was informative. Again, bottom line is that we're seeing the market go a little bit higher for next week, right? The Qs, the diamonds, the Russell 2000, and also the S&P 500. We'll be playing these. We'll definitely be getting the market buying some call debit spreads a little bit for the upside, maybe for looking into like 420, 426 spreads, right? For this one in particular. If it goes higher, then we make some cash. But we're going to be monitoring the volume and also the news to see what exactly transpires for next week. We always say, you know, practice logic over emotions, but more importantly, right? Always, well, we'll see you guys at the finish line, right? Logic over emotions, be rational, and we'll see you guys at the finish line. Peace